Hey guys, NES Addict here. On this episode of Retro Rewind, we're going to make like Marty McFly and travel back to July and August of 1989. We're going to discuss a suggested order for conquering Mega Man 2. We're going to learn where to find the green cheese of longevity, and we're going to witness the birth of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. So, please be kind and Retro Rewind. When this issue of Nintendo Power landed in the hands of gamers, the second wave of summer blockbusters were so hot, kids had to put on their Ocean Pacific tees. I'm talking about classics such as Weekend at Bernie's, Lethal Weapon 2, and funny man John Candy and a pre-Home Alone Macaulay Culkin starred in Uncle Buck. Playing on the radio were notable songs like Gloria Estefan's Here We Are and Warrant's hit single, Heaven. First off, I want to point out that here on the cover it says Anniversary Issue, as this marked one unforgettable year of Nintendo Power. Second, I would like to say that although I don't necessarily dislike this cover, I think Nintendo Power could have done better. After an odd choice of artwork by Capcom for Mega Man 1, it's surprising we ever got a sequel. And I'm not sure why Nintendo Power chose such a visually dark cover featuring Mega Man 2. You barely notice Mega Man, and the blue bomber is hardly recognizable in this red outfit. Personally, I think they should have went with a much brighter cover, like they did in issue 20, when they finally showcased the bright blue Mega Man that we all know and love. Up first on page 6 we have the mailbox section. This is a cool idea. Someone built an arcade machine for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It even has cup holders. On page 8 we quickly get to the main feature, Mega Man 2. At first glance, I questioned why Dr. Wily was covering the Mega Man 2 logo with glue instead of paint. Then I realized his evil monkey minion was holding Dr. Wily's sign to place over Mega Man's. And look at this, they have a nod to Toys R Us and the Acme brand from the Looney Tunes cartoons. On page 9, they highlight some of the special devices that Dr. Light gives you to make the game a little easier. And at the top of the page, they refer to Mega Man as the Blue Bomber, for perhaps the first time ever. On page 10 starts Nintendo Power's preferred method for conquering the level leaders. The suggested order is to fight Airman, then Crash Man, then Metal Man, then Heat Man, then Bubble Man, who apparently is using Metroids to fight Mega Man, Wood Man, then Flash Man, and finally Quick Man. After a detailed look at each stage, Nintendo Power leaves a little mystery of what awaits him in Dr. Wily's castle. And on page 24 they preview FAXANDU. The backstory is that you are a hero returning to your home of Aeolus to discover dwarves have pillaged your town, and now it is up to you to stop them and return the flowing waters to the Elven Fountain. I've only played this game a handful of times, and it was enough for me to realize this game is a hidden gem. And check out the weird spacing in this text box. We townspeople like to gossip. With its low price point and availability, you should definitely snag a copy of this for your NES collection. And up next we have the Counselor's Corner. So let's meet our game counselors for this month. Up first we have Mark Debelak. He looks normal enough. Then we have Jeff Palmer, who definitely looks like he knows about 80s fashion. And Jeffrey Hutt, who reminds me of the Fonz, but apparently was the first person of Nintendo of America to beat Ninja Gaiden. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. And finally we have Scott Peros, who looks like he's sporting a Gotcha t-shirt. So let's see what tips they have for us. They teach you the Z pattern to get through Area 5-2 of Ninja Gaiden, but they forget to mention that you would have to avoid a stupid bird while trying to accomplish this. And on page 36, the top 30 also has been moved much closer to the front of the magazine. Super Mario Bros. 2 takes first place, Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link in second, Ninja Gaiden in third, The Legend of Zelda still holding strong at fourth, Tecmo Bowl in fifth, Blaster Master in sixth, Bionic Commando at seventh, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest in eighth, Mega Man 2 in ninth, and Double Dragon in 10th. Finally, a top 10 list that I can agree with. Every game covered here is amazing and still a classic. And on page 39, Nintendo Power also gives an in-depth look at the RPG Dragon Warrior, which I've never played, but has a Legend of Zelda overworld look to it, and some interesting spells that look to make this an exciting game. Well, alright, let's check out the poster. Not bad, ROBOCOP. I would have rather had DUCKTALES, but I'm not complaining. They also inserted this helpful Mario 2 booklet that walks you through stages 1-1 through 4-3. And here on page 51 they cover Strider. Taking control of the main character, Hiryu, they teach you techniques such as the triangular jump, the slide in, and the plasma arrow, and power tricks such as fire, spark, medical, and jump. Nintendo Power then lays out stage 1 through 4 to begin the journey to save your friend Kane from the Zane Project. Here in the preview section they cover ROBOCOP, Capcom's Gem DUCKTALES, LJN's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Iron Sword. It looks like Nintendo Power added a player meter next to the power meter, so you could rank the game's graphics and sound, play control, challenge, and the theme fun as you see fit. I have a feeling some of the red lines would be a lot shorter for LJN's Roger Rabbit. From the description and pictures, ROBOCOP looks like a pretty fun side-scroller packed with action. As a fan of the movie, I would have wanted to play this game as a kid. Now for a game that I am much more familiar with, Capcom's DUCKTALES. In the game you will play as Scrooge McDuck and guide him through 5 unique levels to search out 5 treasures, such as the Scepter of the Incan King in the Amazon, the Coin of the Lost Realm in Transylvania, the Crown of Genghis Khan in the Himalayas, the Giant Diamond of the Inner Earth in the African mines, and finally, the Green Cheese of Longevity on the Moon. Ah, just listen to that music. Next they preview Roger Rabbit. Check out the Private Eye Eddie. He looks like a flasher here, just waiting on Jessica to walk by. And finally there's Iron Sword, which I think looks pretty fun. I remember the commercial for this game made it seem so awesome.
Come on! Almost! Finally! Yeah!
Triumph is ours!
Squirrels!
But the battle of wizards and warriors continues with Iron Sword. The evil wizard Malkill will take the shape of the earth, wind, water, and fire. Farewell! The fate of the world is in your hands! Backed by a beast!
Live the saga of Iron Sword on your Nintendo Entertainment System from Acclaim.
Kuros?
Ah, the 80s. On page 70, the Howard and Nestor comic brings Nestor face to face with none other than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this comic. First off, the artist gave them really strange masks. It looks like they have transition lenses. Second off, the Ninja Turtles are subscribed to Nintendo Power. They should have used them in the celebrity forum section. And much like every Howard and Nestor comic, they lace in a tip for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The useful tip is to have 99 scrolls before entering Area 3. And on the very next page is classified information. The tip that would have helped me the most as a kid is this jump control for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thanks, Agent 013. This Life Force tip from Agent 410 might have served me well, but I don't think Chris and I ever got that far playing Life Force. I think we barely made it past the first level. The video short section covers Bad Dudes, The Adventure of Tom Sawyer, Guerrilla War, Defender of the Crown, King's Knight, To the Earth, Shooting Range, Sesame Street ABC, and Adventure of Dinah Ricky. Of these games, I've only played Bad Dudes. Didn't like it. And on page 82 we have NES Achievers, so you know what that means. Time to look for weird names. A theme I noticed in this issue was there were a lot of people with animal last names. Like Brian Lamb, Sherry and John Bear, and Alex Fox. In the Pack Watch section, Nintendo Power brings gamers a little closer to the compact video game system, the Game Boy. For me, it's hard to think of this as compact now compared to some of the new incarnations of the Game Boy. And on page 87 there were some weird controllers which probably weren't even worth writing about. Minus the NES Satellite, which was pretty cool. On page 88, the oddly drawn Gossip Gremlins fill us in on some less than stellar games and prep us for the next issue, which will feature information gained at the CES, or the Consumer Electronics Show. And on page 89 is the first anniversary Nintendo Power Year 1-Up special, and possibly the last. It just shows various one-ups in different games. Seems like a good way to fill a few pages to me. The NES Journal section on page 92 informs us that Nintendo had been around for 100 years. Who knew? Apparently Nintendo had been around since 1889, which is oddly enough the same year that Thomas Edison was working on inventing the light bulb. Since then, Nintendo has moved from arcade classics like Donkey Kong, introduced to America in 1981. That was a good year. To the best-selling home video game system in history, the NES. With characters like Mario and Link blazing new trails into the realm of fun, Nintendo is confident that the next 100 years will be even better than the first. After all, Nintendo is committed to excellence, and that is a commitment to you. And even though I have much more familiarity with the brand Nintendo today, when I hear the word Nintendo, my mind always takes me back to just the little gray box that sat by my 13-inch black and white TV my grandfather gave me. On page 93 they cover a cartoon which I still watch today, thanks to Netflix, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I remember watching this as a kid before school and hoping that the boring live-action portion would hurry up so the cartoon would come on before I had to leave. And who can forget those Zelda commercials thrown into every episode? I don't ever remember seeing Zelda the cartoon though, although now I own at least 1 or 2 episodes on a VHS tape I found at a thrift store.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
And on page 94, Michael Dorn, better known as Worf from Star Trek, plugs Nintendo Power. Who knew Klingons had time to play video games? He claims Duck Hunt reminds him of when he and his brother played Indians? Okay, I don't see the connection. So here's the players poll with the complete list of all 108 games that existed up to this point. And on page 98 and 99, they end off the magazine with a players poll contest, where they announce 5 grand prize winners will meet Howard Phillips, play games with Nintendo game counselors, test unreleased game programs, and tour Seattle. 10 second place winners will win a Game Boy, and 50 third place winners will receive a Nintendo jersey. Looks great, Howard. And that wraps up another episode of Retro Rewind. Come back next time and we'll check out issue 8 featuring DuckTales. Woo! Thanks for watching. Alright, hold on a second. Stop the end credits. I forgot to mention something. If there's anything that you would like to see in the next Nintendo Power Retro Rewind, please leave it in a comment below. Or if there's anything you think I missed in this issue, please leave that in a comment as well. Also, if you liked this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to come back and see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.